Hey, and welcome to Find Your Flavor. I'm your host, Chef Evelyn, and I'm really excited to bring you this podcast that's been brewing in me for almost a decade now. So I kind of want to share with you the premise behind the title. I want to share with you why a chef is having a podcast that has absolutely nothing to do with food and what you can expect if you decide to hang out here on this part of the internet. So I created this podcast because I wanted a place where Black women entrepreneurs could come and we could have a safe place, a dialogue, a community where we turn our attention away from our businesses for a moment so that we can really focus on the areas of our life that we may have put on the back burner while we've been building our businesses over the years. And I really want us to have a moment where we can spend some time, some energy, and some attention on the things that are not about being more productive, that are not about scaling our business, right? And so I really am excited to, go on this journey with you, share with you, my experience as an entrepreneur about curating the areas of my life that I push to the side. I think we do a fantastic job about focusing on our businesses and the revenue and the systems and the structures for our businesses. And we also have been taught and bred, and we're really good about taking care of our personal responsibilities and just the day-to-day admin parts of life, right? And even, we have probably, if you're here, gone on a great journey of personal growth and development. And I don't want to talk about any of that here. I really want to focus on the areas that, in my experience, my clients' experiences, my friends' experiences, other entrepreneurs that I have met in my lifetime, the areas that have gone by the wayside. And I find that, one of those areas, which is kind of at the top of the list, is recreation, right? So play, pleasure, hobbies, celebrations, bringing back recess, right? And I know that may seem trivial, but I've actually found that really turning my attention to intentional play and intentional pleasure has been a game changer for me. And even in conversations I've had with other women, also, another area that I've seen go by the wayside for myself and for others is what I would consider rest and relaxation, and rejuvenation. And I'm not necessarily talking about self-care, because I feel like you probably have self-care tips in spades. Everybody's talking about self-care. There's, thousands of blog posts and YouTube videos and carousels and reels, spewing every form of a self-care tip imaginable. And you've probably got your self-care accoutrement, if you will, already established. But this is more about intentionally curating systems around rest, relaxation, rejuvenation, recreation, play, pleasure, hobbies. And then I would say the third area that I think for some of us, and again, these categories may not be applicable to you, like not every single one, but this is just what I found, and these are the areas that I'm really wanting to lean into. It's also relationships. And by that I mean friendships, your family relationships, relationships with a significant other, even the relationship with yourself, right? Whether that's your physical relationship with yourself, like your body, whether it's, your mental, emotional state, whether it's your spiritual, really wanting to spend some time around curating community and curating connections. And I feel like as entrepreneurs, I won't even say I feel like, I know as entrepreneurs, it can get real easy to get into the cyclical nature of our business, right? The planning, the strategizing, the client delivery, the execution, the marketing, the creating content, the admin, working with contractors, right? Networking, the personal growth and development books, the coaching programs. Like, we've done it all. We've invested in it all. And that's wonderful for us. And the one challenge I have with that is that everybody benefits from all of that. And I wanted to create this space where the only ROI here is joy. The only ROI here is peace, is pleasure, is play, and a place that, we can pour into each other, and we're the only one that benefits, because whether it's self-improvement or personal development or productivity tips, there's always another party that benefits, right? The more productive you are, the more your business and your clients benefit. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? And the more we do personal growth and development, the people that we are in relationship with, they benefit. And we benefit too, but they also get a benefit. But one of the things that I've learned from starting ballet as an adult, I started ballet at 40 years old, was the power of having a place where only I benefited and where my only goal was enjoyment. And so that is what Find Your Flavor is around. It's really about curating the life that we crave, the life that the reason why we started our businesses in the first place. Maybe you started your business because you wanted time freedom. Maybe you wanted financial freedom. Maybe you wanted location freedom. Maybe you wanted all the things and all the marketing speak that we've heard over the years. And you have that, or you have a version of that. But it's the other intangible things that we kind of pushed aside and was like, I'll get to that when. And so this is a place where it's about getting to it now, right? So there's kind of three areas that really this podcast is going to be centered around. And the first part is the title, which is Finding Your Flavor. And that's all about, like, what is it that you want for your life versus going with the flow? This is all about finding your own specific flavor in whatever category. What's your favorite flavor of movement? What's your favorite flavor of play, of pleasure, and not what the algorithm suggests to you, right? And then the next part that I really want to focus on is curating what you crave, because what I've realized is that even when we can get really clear on our desires and we know what we want, taking the time, taking the time from our business, from another area of life to really curate that area of our life. I know that I've needed support in that. My clients have needed support in that. My friends, my families who are entrepreneurs, we've all needed support, encouragement, community, guidance around taking the time to curate that and putting the systems in place so that we're not doing things one-off, right? That we are really incorporating rest and play and pleasure and relaxation and slowing down, right? If that's something that we desire, and making that a systematic part of our life, right? And the last thing is about really savoring and enjoying the success that we've created, and how savoring is about surpassing self-care, right? Like I said, if you're here, listen, you probably have your self-care routines down. You've probably got your appointments booked. You probably have a therapist. You may be familiar with the term EMDR. Like, listen, you are a self-care person through and through, but savoring is about surpassing that and about sustaining the enjoyment. And particularly the reason why I wanted to create this podcast for Black women entrepreneurs is because we need a safe place to enjoy the success that we've created, right? Where we can lean into luxury out loud if that's something that you enjoy. And I'm not necessarily talking about designers or handbags, which, listen, I'm with that. I happen to be a luxury makeup lover. That's one of my flavors of luxury, if you will. But even if it's the luxury of, like, you want to grow your own food, right? And you want garden beds, and you want to compost, and you want hugelkultur mounds, or, the luxury of you want to homeschool your kids, or the luxury of you only want to work 2 to 3 hours a day, or whatever it is, right? There's no right or wrong. It's all about what's your flavor. So I'm excited that you're here. I posted this on social media as an idea that I've just been holding in for, believe it or not, 11 years. And I'm excited for us to go on this journey together of finding our flavor and curating the life that we have always craved and focusing on those areas that we've put on the back burner. So it's time to bring them front and center, time to give them some, our full focus, some love, some energy, and to create systems around them so we can sustain it. I will also say that, I think this is our charge for our generation. One of the conversations that I have with my friends a lot, and my entrepreneurial friends, and even my friends who are very successful in their careers, but they're not entrepreneurs, is that, if I look back over time, I feel like, our ancestors, our foremothers, our grandmothers, even our mothers, each generation has had something that they've contributed to our lifestyle, whether they were just looking for freedom and that was the charge of their generation, whether, they moved into giving us rights, if you're in the United States, civil rights, whether it's, the generation after that as a collective, maybe not your individual parents' experience or your family's experience, but I feel like as a collective, there was a generation that really focused on giving us safety and security and financial stability, right? Like, maybe your mother or your grandmother or someone in your family, or maybe even you, were a first generation college graduate, right? And then I feel like our generation, the charge that we've given ourselves, I don't think anybody put that on us. I think we've taken it on as ourselves, has really been about healing and self-care. And now I feel like the next iteration of that is savoring. So let me know if you agree with that or if you've experienced that. And let me know, are these the kind of conversations you're having with your friend group, with your entrepreneurial colleagues, with your homegirls from college? Like, let me know. So this is the trailer. This is just kind of a sample, an appetizer, if you will, of what's to come. Just really wanted to break it down. This podcast, when it launches, will be weekly. And I'm excited. And listen, you are more than welcome to listen if you are not Black, if you are not a woman, if you are not an entrepreneur. But that is what is going to be the focus here. And that is what that is who I'm going to be talking to. And I'm just excited. So listen, if you want to follow along with updates on this journey, you can follow me on Instagram and on Threads at Chef Evelyn, all one word, Chef Evelyn. And then I am going to be putting up pretty soon a wait list, if you will, if you want to get updates via email. So I'd love for you to take a screenshot, share this trailer, subscribe to the podcast. If you are interested in going on this journey, I know so many people have already expressed the interest in being guests, which I wasn't even necessarily prepared for that, but we'll see what we can do to make it happen, because I know we're having these conversations in private and I wanted us to have a place on the interwebs where we can come together and discuss this. So listen, I want to end this, and I kind of want to start this tradition on our podcast with what's on my plate this week, right? And so I want to start with I am craving community and connection around this topic, right? I am curating right now what I'm building systems around is beauty, to believe it or not, right? I have a whole process of getting back to enjoying the aesthetics of myself and the aesthetics of my surroundings, and why that's important to me. So let me know if you want an episode about that or episodes about that. And I've been having conversations with other women about how beauty is a tool in our toolbox that we get to use and that we get to enjoy, and that our beauty as women, as Black women, is merely just a reflection on the inner work that we've done on the inside. So why not enjoy it for ourselves on the outside? But I digress. Listen, that's not what this trailer is about. So that's what I'm curating and what I'm savoring right now. is the slowness of the wintertime. So while a lot of people are really excited for a new year, as am I, because my birthday is at the beginning of the new year, and they're setting goals and they're, wanting to do all these things, I'm actually enjoying what I like to call wintering and, setting up the systems to get ready for spring when nature is having its new year. So with that being said, make sure to follow me at Chef Evelyn on Instagram and on Threads. I also have a YouTube channel if you want to follow along as I live out what I'm finding my flavor in, curating and savoring. And yeah, take a screenshot, tag me on social media if you enjoyed this, share this with another friend, colleague, entrepreneur, or woman that you think would enjoy this type of podcast. And I look forward to seeing you in the first episode.